CNP Borstworth. It's not the worst unless it's worst.
Are you listening to me, Emfuru? You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Benhill.
I am not.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service. Did he now? The mouth on that man. I swear his late mother'd be ashamed. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate. Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the... Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the... You look out the...
I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Emfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jesse in the first place. Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors. You say that like it's weird. I just don't like to leave a debt unpaid, that's all. Be my guest.
Rizzo's lemon slop. Slop your whole family for life.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures register to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? We got your punch right here.
Sorry about the heat. Chief... Oh. Heard of it? My orientation aether wave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells of...
That's true.
That's a spacious choice beer. Take what you have, polish it up, and make the best of it. So, what can I get?
Move along.
You're sure this is perfectly safe? I'd rather not die early of an infectious disease myself.
To the last ratted on rotten time, leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed, don't you? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly lethally contagious. But I'll be fine, so long as I'm left alone. Criminy. She really ain't... Alright, okay. We can discuss this like... Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an...
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low. What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear. You'd let a poor, ill woman get disappeared by the board? Awfully cold-blooded of you. All right, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. I specialize in particularly high-end and historically valuable items. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood-tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years. If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the Med Bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udom as my buyer. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent. Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me. Or I guess I should say, Ellie.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the Have you seen this man? Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of Wells, report any sightings.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
You'd think the board and its agents would be more content, sitting at the top.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? What? Indeed. Oh, and there we are. I've removed the lock on an apprehension of this. The thing is, I've
Was you?
You're
Oh, it's all right.
the heart.
Stray too much.
That's
Hey, take your time.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were... I impounded Alex's ship, not yours. Well, I guess it's yours now if you're captaining it. It's a game we play, he and I. I ask him to turn in Phineas Wells, he tells me he will soon. I impound his ship, he explains why he can't give me the info right now. I ask him to turn in Wells. Around and around we go. Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? It must have been lost with Alex, then. One more tragedy to top the pile. Tell me, how did he die? Oh, awful business, that. But why? How? No. Best not to ask after the gory details. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm. Well, Alex knew, or he said he did. And you have his ship. Maybe he kept... That's... Well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional. It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserable. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas. It's fine, really. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work. Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. That's not unreasonable.
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but...
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like to What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the... You might be surprised. But we'll proceed on the assumption. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to... Now, is there... What? All right, I suppose. How might I assuage your fears? Whom else would I work for? Those sublight thugs? That Tennyson woman? The sweaty masses in the groundside townships? The board is the only force for order in this rough and tumble colony of ours. Without them, we'd all starve to death or meet our end in a canid's jaws. That's a curious question. I can't say I've ever considered how my personal satisfaction factors into the work I do. Permit me to answer your question in another way. In Byzantium, I was one among many. I often felt lost in the hurry and expanse of the capital. Here I have a measure of power and suffer little oversight. It makes for a different kind of loneliness, but it's one I've found I can endure. I understand. And I would ask the same of you, but I suspect... Well, I suspect I'd find your answers less than satisfactory, wouldn't I? That's an unusual rhetorical tactic, but I admire your frankness. And your gumption. Yeah. Indeed. And you know where he is? Excelsior! An apprehension of this caliber would be tremendous for my career. I would send you straight away to my superiors in Byzantium, but... Just a teensy one, the teensiest. Nothing to, lie awake worrying about for nights on end or anything. The thing is, I needed money. A lot of money, quickly, for reasons. I might have pawned my official board seal to Gladys, the black market fence here on the Groundbreaker. I can't authorize the paperwork you'll need to turn Phineas in without it.
Stray too much from the straight and narrow, and one may just find himself assigned pastoral duty in a maximum security penitentiary.
To give away something so important to you, it must have been some curious...
I'll thank you not to question my motives, young miss. It was a mistake, and I'd like to put it behind me. It's only temporary, of course. I'd never leave something so important in the hands of someone of such a dubious moral character. I was going to buy it back once I raised the capital. So you'll need to get my seal back from her if you want to hand Phineas over to the board. that's really neither here nor there, don't you think? I've been working on something on the side, all right? Something not entirely, on the level. It's a little silly, I'll admit. Silly and completely illegal. I'd be forced into early retirement if the board found out. I produce bootleg serials. I can't help myself. Jurisprudence After Hours, or All My Colonists, The New Immortals, romance, tragedy, debt collection. And they're all mine.
That was you? Oh my stars. All My Colonists is just... Well, it gave me a story hangover for days, Mr. Udom.
You're a fan? I've never met one in the flesh. I suddenly feel quite naked.
Oh, it's all right, Mr. Udom. I don't judge.
The heart wants what it wants, as they say, and mine yearns for the adoration of the masses. Held at a comfortable distance, of course. I wish I could say others felt the same. I've made nothing on them. Not a bit. My losses are staggering. I might have pawned my official board seal to Gladys, the black market fence here on the Groundbreaker. I can't authorize the paperwork you'll need to turn Phineas in without...
Stray too much from the, straight...
I'll thank you not to question my... It's... Though it might surprise... Now... That's the long and short. Thank you. I'll be waiting eagerly for your return. Now, is...
Sometimes sacrifices must be made to stay aligned with the plan.